In what can only be described as based, Donald Trump has said that the J6 committee should be in jail. Yeah, because they lied, cheated, and stole. Now, I'm going to pause for a second and say I will be tempered here and say I believe that the J6 committee should be investigated, and where criminality applies, they should be charged and go to trial and all of those things. Now, I can't speak to all of the actions of the J6 committee. It has been some time, but there are a lot of stories about, I don't know how you describe it, just malfeasance, malicious behavior, omitting certain testimony and trying to, I would call it a seditious conspiracy to undermine this government and its incoming president. For me, what I can say is that Jamie Raskin lied about me and caused me quite a bit of problems because he's a bad person. But lying about me is lying about me. You don't go to jail for lying, you get sued, but then they have the speech and debate clause where they're allowed to lie, cheat, and steal because they're scumbags and get away with it. Everybody's losing their mind over this. And I just got to say, I'm over here just going, what? Huh? I'm just, why should I care? Donald Trump said in this interview with Meet the Press, he's going to treat them the exact same way they treated MAGA and, everything will be fine. And they ished a brick. Oh, because they know what it means to be treated the same way MAGA was being treated. Yeah, it's not fun. Yeah. So while Trump says, no, we're going to be fair. We'll treat them the same way they treated us. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. He says he's going to pardon all the J6s on day one and that the J6 committee should go to jail. Here's the story from Mediaite. President-elect Donald Trump told NBC News anchor Kristen Welker that Liz Cheney and his other opponents on the January 6th committee should go to jail, but claimed he won't push for it in the same breath he was pushing for it. I mean, I got no problem if he does. Here's the clip. We got this on X from the Storm Redux
committee.
Here we go.
And Cheney was behind it. Well, and so was Benny Thompson and everybody on that committee. For what they did.
Yeah.
Honestly, they should go to jail.
Yep.
So you think Liz Cheney should go to jail?
Oh, yeah.
For what they did.
Everyone on the committee, you think?
I think everybody anybody that voted in favor.
Are you going to direct your FBI director and your attorney general to send them to jail?
Not at all. I think that they'll have to look at that, but I'm going to focus on drill, baby, drill.
There we go. See, Trump's got the talking points down right, even when he doesn't have to. He's not running for election. He already won. But he's saying, no, we're not going to, they should be, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to focus on drill, baby, drill. He's saying we're going to focus on the economy. We're going to improve the country, get it on track. And I hope Trump doesn't make the same mistake he made last time. I want him to be tempered, reasonable. I want him to be cool and collected. But, these people need to be investigated. I'm sorry. You don't get to launch a multi-year investigation accusing Donald Trump of being a traitor, of going after people who meandered about the Capitol. I'm not talking about people who smashed glass or anything like that. I'm saying the people who meandered about. You go after these people, you hunt them down, you destroy their lives, you put them in solitary, and you do it on a lie. January 6th should get hearings. We should have COVID trials and J6 trials. I want to know why they turned down National Guard. Donald Trump offered National Guard and J6. I want to know. We've talked to a few journalists, some personalities, that J6 was a Pentagon plot. And so the general idea is they intentionally pulled back on security, hoping that Trump supporters would storm the gates and they would call it an insurrection. Now, the big plot, as some people believe, is crazy. I don't know if I believe the craziest of crazy plots, but the idea is that the Pentagon wanted this to happen, had provocateurs in the crowd, storm the barricades so Trump supporters would follow, fight with cops. The cops would be overwhelmed. They'd break their way in, and some harm would then come to members of Congress. However, a police officer who later got the boot took it upon himself to evacuate Congress once he got word that these people were storming in. Apparently, he called and said, "What do I do?" And there was no answer. Afterwards, they got mad that he actually got the members of Congress out. So this has led people to believe that the actual plot was, if the J6ers actually attacked members of Congress, then everything would have made sense, wouldn't it? If you actually got any one of these people to injure a member of Congress, hurt or otherwise, could be terrifying, then the nationwide raids would make more sense, wouldn't they? Why are they setting up Capitol Police headquarters across the country and going after people who milled about a building for a few minutes and left? I've heard way too many stories. By all means, you're going to say, yeah, but they were fighting with cops. They're big, violent. Yeah, lock them up. I don't care. You fight cops, you get violent, you storm the Capitol, you break windows, you go to jail. What are you going to get? A couple of years, I think, makes sense. 20 years is nuts. But then you look at 20-year sentences. Well, that really only makes sense if this was actually a more substantial incident, right? So I don't know what to tell you, but there are people who are arguing that they think the general plot was these guys would storm in, they would injure members of Congress, call it an insurrection, say they actually tried to overthrow the government. They'd use this as pretext to lock Trump up, which they were trying to do but failed. And I wonder if it's because their stupid plan just didn't happen. I don't know. What I can tell you is there was a riot at the Capitol. It was bad. We don't want these things to happen. I don't care who's doing it. A lot of people on the other side of the building walked in confused with the doors being opened by the people who are on the other side. I get that. There was a guy down there. He had a gun. I don't know if it was just one or whatever. And I think criminal charges are warranted. If you trespassed, you got to be warned you're being trespassed. So anybody who walked up and there's no barricades, you can't trespass them. In the event someone did trespass knowingly, then I think, what do you get? Like court supervision? To be expunged from the record after 30 days for a trespass? Get out of here. They go on to say Trump sat with an exclusive interview on Sunday morning for Meet the Press and talked about the members that investigated January 6th riot. Look at that. Even Mediaite says riot and the circumstances around it. Trump has nominated staunch loyalists, Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, to lead the Department of Justice and the FBI, respectively. After Trump repeatedly said they should go to jail, Welker asked him, are you going to direct? Yeah, he said, no, he's not going to do it. So we get it. But I think he should. I think we need an investigation over the claims they were making. And I think if there's evidence of fraud, then it's a seditious conspiracy. If the J6 committee knowingly lied to the American people to undermine this country, that is a seditious conspiracy and they should go to jail. And if they didn't, then they got nothing to worry about. But Trump says he's going to treat them the same way they treated MAGA, so we'll see. CNN reports this from last week. Trump's going to pardon me anyways. J6 writer scoffs he's led from court to prison. Yeah, Trump better. He better. I believe that Trump should do two things. Commutation for any extended sentence for a person who was violent and pardons for anyone who was nonviolent. Let's break this down. I know there's a lot of people saying Trump should pardon everybody. No, if you were a violent rioter and you attacked police, you go to jail. But these people have been in jail for much too long, okay? Look, if you're a leftist and you hit a cop in the face, you should go to jail. But for what? I mean, I got to be honest, depending on the severity, if you're in a scuffle in the streets and, someone hits a cop, 6 months to a year, maybe? I mean, is it really going to be effective? But you go to jail for this. So at J6 at the Capitol, these people are fighting cops. They're shoving them. They're pushing on them. What are you going to do? A year? That probably makes sense. Don't beat up cops and riot and storm your way into places that you aren't supposed to be at. I mean, just when the cops form a line, when the cops pull you over, and I'm so sick of this leftist stuff where they're just like, you should defy the police. That's what they say. I'm like, no, you don't win that way. You want to win, right? You get pulled over. You did nothing wrong. The cops are running you a ticket. Don't scream in the cop's face and make it worse. Say, okay, and fight it in court. Have a dash cam. Make sure you're not doing anything wrong and fight it in court. Don't get me wrong. Everybody speeds and they're going to get you on a speeding ticket and single you out. That happens. And they say, show me the man, I'll show you the crime. Everybody, what is the rule? Everyone commits 3 felonies a day or some ridiculous number. But Trump should look at anybody who fought with cops and your sentence is commuted. You're convicted for rioting and attacking an officer. Yeah, well, you did that and you got to pay for that. But I think it's been long enough. Anybody who walked up and walked in confused, total pardon. No criminal charges should have been filed for any of those people. They say Philip Sean Grillo of New York announced after his sentencing, Trump's going to pardon me anyway, as a U.S. Marshal had him remove his belt and tie before cuffing him inside the courtroom. Senior Judge Royce Lamberth of the D.C. District Court spoke about the judiciary's role in bringing justice to the Capitol rioters. Blah, blah, blah. On Trump's pledge to pardon them, he said it has nothing to do with that decision. I will do my job as I am bound by oath to do, and the president will do his. It's as simple as that. It is exceedingly rare for a judge to order a criminal defendant who is a non-violent offender like Grillo to be taken into custody immediately at his sentencing. Lamberth's courtroom on Friday provided an astonishing glimpse into the state of the J6 prosecutions, as federal judges continue to sentence defendants even as Trump has promised to free them. Lamberth gave little explanation for his reasoning for the immediate remand, remarking only he was ordering it because where we are in the process. There are people who simply walked around a building between the velvet ropes, took pictures, and left like tourists. And they're being held in solitary? Trump should pardon them immediately. Ridiculous. Cheney responds to Trump floating jail time for J6 committee members. They deleted and destroyed all evidence, Trump said to the J6 committee members. I don't believe Trump's going to take heavy action. I don't. I think he should, but I don't think he will. So, well, we're getting close, my friends. What are we looking at? Month and a, not even, man, we're looking at 5-6 weeks. It'll be interesting. I'll wrap it up there. Smash that like button. Share the show with everyone you know. Follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. We got more segments coming up for you, so stick around and we'll see you all then.